I get asked a lot if QLA will work for me, and I can't tell you if it'll work for you. I can tell you that the process works, but whether it worked for you, that's a whole other situation. I make no guarantees on that. But I wanted to share with you an email, and I'm going to look at the screen, so pardon my eyes going down here, that was with Rachel. She's in my group coaching, and she had some concerns about reaching out and building Dream Team members. But I just love this email. So Rachel, I hope you're okay with me sharing it. I'm going to take out some of the specifics of names, etc. But she sent me an email that said, context, telling potential chair I'll be in touch after our interviews. He said, I am happy to take your call whenever. And then Rachel asked me, is this code for, quote, I am in? And I said to her, it's close. Definitely it means he likes you and would like to talk again. So then she sent me an email a little later that says, Bruce, don't want to ruin the surprise for our call this week, but I've confirmed it does mean yes. He's just agreed to be my chairman. Not quite sure what to do now, but good news all the same. Cheers, Rachel. I asked her if he was a big hitter, as Dan would say, and she replied, he is. She mentions his name. He has over 30 years experience, et cetera, et cetera. He's also the chair of 3 of the largest companies in her country. I'm not going to tell you what that is. And he was awarded a top 200 person award in 2017, again, by a group that I'm not going to mention. Just I don't want to give that much information up. He's well known in business circles, and it's a complete coup as he signed up only after a 10-minute call. And yes, she did her due diligence on this. I told Rachel the next step is to use his CV or resume to build out the rest of the board. And she said, I'll do that. I've started reaching out to others anyway, but having a chair with such a strong pedigree will certainly help. I guess he's happy with me assembling the board and then getting back in touch with her. And that she asked if she could use his name. I said, well, novel idea, never ask, never get. Why don't we ask if you can use his name? But also, just a point here, when you're building out the board and you have a chairman, be sure to include that chairman in this. So she said that she did reach out and that he ended up saying absolutely. Now, what she wrote to him was his name. Once again, excited to have you on the board. In terms of the next step, we'll formalize the company in and around the first acquisition, and I'd like to get your thoughts on that when appropriate. Right now, I'm focused on building out the rest of the board. We have an accountant and lawyer position to fill, as well as 1 to 2 industry experts. I'll run the candidates by you when I have a list. I also wanted to check with you. I plan to let people know you have signed on as chairman. Is that okay? She wrote back to me. His response, yes, no problem. To which Rachel said, WTF. He didn't ask for a business plan. He didn't ask what percentage equity. Basically, what he said was, if I can contribute, I'm interested. He liked her idea. That's important. Most big hitters will be interested in 2 things primarily. One is, why is this important to you? And then 2, what's your idea to be different? And that means, what are you going to do better than everybody else out there? Preferably first, but if not first, better and different. So I just wanted to share this with you. I was really pleased to see Rachel's success. This was not an easy process for her to pick up the phone and contact these people and talk to them. But she did it, and the results speak for themselves. She's got an excellent chairman. And she'll find now that once you have that person as chairman on your board, the rest of the steps will come much easier, because that person's credibility essentially is your credibility. And they'll say, well, I don't know Rachel, but I know this person. And if she's assembled this person, I definitely want to listen. So hope that's helpful. Again, I don't make any guarantees on QLA and whether you can do it, but I do know the process works. And this is a great example of someone who went through that process and it worked for him. A lot more steps in the QLA methodology that Dan Pena, who's been my mentor for 26 years, developed over 26 years ago. But the results of QLA and what Dan created speak for themselves.